Hestia, god of the forge. Wait, no, of the hearth. I already f***ed up. Hestia is the goddess of the hearth, but is she the bestia of the garth? I did the same joke for Hephaestus. You can say best and Hestia. It rhymes. Anyway, we're talking about our boons today, and I'm gonna get right to it, because why not? Join the Patreon to support the channel. It's the best place to do it. You know, YouTube's in a rough state right now, and it's not treating its creators the best. So even if you don't support us, please go support a YouTuber you watch. Give them like $5 a month or something. Hopefully you can afford $5 for a creator you watch a lot. Doesn't even have to be me. I'd love it if it was me. Check out Tulok the Cardbarian if you like Magic the Gathering. That's where we're doing Magic the Gathering stuff. And Tulok the Barbarian if you like D&D stuff. Watching all the channels helps us out a lot. Okay, let's get started. And we'll get started in C tier with Heat Rush, Hestia's Sprint Boon. Y'all remember early access, if you played early access, where Hestia's Sprint Boon just made it so you couldn't get hit by Eris? That was pretty cool. I liked that a lot. They changed it. So talking about Sprint Boons in the past, we've basically narrowed it down to they are good for activating duo boons and they are good for activating origination. This does not activate origination, so it's a pretty bad sprint boon. It does get you duo boons, and Hestia's got some good duo boons, so I could see scooping this up purely for that. But a lot of Hestia's duo boons specifically refer to Scorch, and this doesn't have Scorch, so this one's one of the worst sprint boons. Maybe the worst sprint boon? Certainly up there. Activates duo boons though, so it's technically better than nothing. Glowing Coal I put in C tier. I know in the Zeus tier list I put the launched cast into D tier, and some of you took it as a personal attack. None of these are personal attacks, by the way. I just play the game different than you. That's okay. You don't have to be like so mad about it. But while you were all mad about it, you let me know that it's really good for aspect of Charon, an aspect I don't like, and then some of you got mad at me for that. God, making tier lists is fun. But I don't really like launching my cast. I do see the appeal of it, sending it further away, and it's a lot easier on mouse and keyboard, but aiming the cast isn't something I'm looking to do. If it just honestly launched it straight forward, I think I would like it better, but I've had pretty bad luck with the auto aim. I understand there is an auto aim and that it usually lines up on something, but a lot of times when I'm using it, it doesn't, and I don't really like that. So Glowing Coal, C tier for me, could be S tier for you if you like using the Charon Axe, launching it in front of you, and then making that Omega Special a little bit easier to hit since it doesn't have to go as fast, but I don't really like this one. And this is my tier list. This is just my opinion. It's okay if we all disagree. Smoldering, one of the worst casts in the game. I don't understand how this thing applies Scorch. It applies it really, really slow, even at higher rarities. It seems to apply it. Like, why is it not just constantly going up when they're standing in the cast? Is that not how the Scorch should work on this? But no, it goes up, then it goes down, then it goes up, then it goes down. It activates origination, so you know, that's good. We like origination here. And it's required to get the legendary Hestia boon, and once you get the legendary Hestia boon, this cast becomes pretty good. That's a pretty big if, and I'm not big on if. I'm big on this showed up, I grabbed it, what did it do for me? And for me, this activates origination, and it's kind of bad at it because the Scorch will burn out pretty quickly and then you won't have origination anymore. So I think it's C tier. It's definitely something that can get better, but it's also something that I don't think starts off very good. One of the worst casts in the game, in my opinion. Still technically an upgrade, so we're not putting it in D tier. But you know what I would put in D tier? Not supporting the channel. This one doesn't have a sponsor, so I'm just going to do a quick reminder in the middle of the video. Yeah, Patreon. It's pretty cool. You get to join the Discord, hang out, play Magic the Gathering with me. And again, I think I'm not even going to plug our Patreon. Obviously, if you watch a lot of our videos, please support us, but I think you should just support a content creator you enjoy and make sure you are liked and subscribed. I watch a ton of Wolfie stuff. He does Pokemon, and I realized I wasn't subscribed to him. So, you know, I did my part. Please do your part. Help us out at least a little bit. If you're enjoying these videos, even if you hate the videos, you kind of enjoy that you hate them, right? You know, isn't that fun? Let's go to B tier. Slow Cooker, this is the elemental boon for Hestia. The more fire you have, the more your attack and special do. This is a flat upgrade to the damage numbers and works really well on the daggers and the torches and not great on some of the other weapons. So that's why it's in B tier. Really weapon dependent. Depends on how fast you are attacking, how many individual hits are happening. That flat upgrade is better than a percentage upgrade because a percentage upgrade would be smaller than the flat upgrade. Funny how that works. When number bigger, number better. And on smaller weapons, this can be a bigger number and can be a better number. But it's kind of ass on the axe. Ass on the axe, really just, boy, isn't that the Hestia story? Let's talk about Flame Strike and Flame Flourish, because these are two Scorch buildup things. And Scorch buildup can go kinda nutty if you like to set it and forget it. It really cooks, and by cooks, I mean, you just get to leave it and put your feet up for a second. While it does the damage, you can focus on dodging, you can focus on being safe, and not worry about having to get super aggro, because the Scorch is doing the damage for you. But if you're using something slow, it's not all that great. The base staff, the axe, I understand you can upgrade the staff in ways that make it attack very fast, but you don't start off attacking very fast, so I was like, that's bad on the Scorch. But if you get the double up stuff on the staff, then it goes really fast, and then it's better for Scorch. But it's very weapon dependent, and if you are using the axe and you grab Flame Strike or Flame Flourish, buddy, what are you doing? What are we doing here? What are we even doing here? Why would you do that? Maybe you're trying to get a duo boon or something, but boy howdy, you kind of just wasted a slot if you did that. Now, I really like using it on the daggers, except for the Artemis daggers, I don't really, because that's crit based, so I want more flat damage. Yeah, I don't know. I used to be a big proponent of Scorch. I've kind of fallen off of it, though, and I would say I'd probably put it into B tier now, on the attack and special at least. Sorry. Why am I apologizing? It's B tier. It's fine. B tier is the conditional tier. That's good if you got that. Controlled Burn launches a fireball with your Omega Special, and that fireball does some good damage. It also makes your Omega Special cost more, but I think if you're using a build that uses Omega Special, you should be pretty okay spending mana. You should have a good mana recovery boon. And if you don't, probably don't pick this up. That seems kind of obvious, right? You don't want to do something that's going to make your mana more expensive if you're using mana and you don't have a lot of mana. But if you do have a lot of mana, this is just extra damage on your Omega Special, and it's pretty good extra damage. The reason it's in B tier is because it enables a duo boon that I think sucks with Ares. I gotta talk shit about Ares in every video. It's a tradition. The duo boon between Hestia and Ares, I think it's garbage. It just makes them inflict wounds. And come on. Wounds and fireballs? Fireballs are, I think, the least exciting part of Hestia's kit. The Scorch is more fun, but it still is extra damage. And the damage is pretty good. So, yeah, B tier. I don't think it's terrible. I just don't think it's anything to write home about. It's fine.
This is fine. Don't worry about it at all.
So let's talk about some good stuff, and let's start off talking about good stuff with a little bit of Hot Pot. Hot Pot gives you an innate dodge chance that gets doubled when you're fighting something with Scorch built up. I would put this in S tier because, boy howdy, you get this at a high rarity. That's 12% dodge chance. It's 1 in 10 hits, just missing you. Pairs really well with the Apollo duo boon that makes you heal when stuff misses you, but it's still an A tier because even if you're not rocking a Scorch heavy setup, you just had Scorch on something, I think that is a prerequisite to getting Hot Pot. You had Scorch somewhere and you got Hot Pot, even at base rarity, that's 4% dodge chance. I'd grab that. Who cares? Then maybe try and get Scorch on a little bit more for an 8%. That's, again, common rarity. It's at 4%. So yeah, so there isn't really a run where I would say Hot Pot is a bad thing to scoop up. And that's what A tier is for. It's always going to make you a little bit better, and it could make you a lot better. Highly Flammable throws more Scorch on the first time you would afflict Scorch. This is a big upgrade on the cast and a pretty good upgrade on other Scorch afflicting things, making sure that your scorched enemies stay scorched a little bit longer by applying some more Scorch. A big issue with Scorch is that it can burn out kind of fast if you don't maintain your fire. Hey, I'm a big Survivor fan. They go to final fire making now. I don't really like that they do that, but you see a lot of people flaming out because their fire burns out and then they just lose. If they had Highly Flammable, that wouldn't be a problem. It would keep that Scorch applied so that they could get that good origination boost and just more damage from Scorch. Highly Flammable. You only get it if you have Scorch in your build already, and it makes your Scorch better. There's no reason not to take it. Now compare that to Pyro Technique, which makes your Scorch burn faster, and I think Pyro Technique can actually kind of be bad, but it can be really good. So it's still an A tier. Here's why it can be bad if you're not great at building the Scorch up fast. 1, why are you playing Hestia? Huh? That's the point. So, skill issue. But it makes your Scorch burn faster, and that can mean you don't get your origination as long if you're not building up to like 999 Scorch and watching the Scorch scorch it up really hard. But if you are able to get your Scorch up to 999, Scorch burning faster means damage go faster. It's just way better damage for the Scorch, like a lot better damage for the Scorch. Pair this with the duo boon between Hestia and Aphrodite that leaves Scorch on weak afflicted enemies. Oh boy. Ooh, that cooks. That one cooks. That's gonna burn some enemies down super duper fast, and again, you don't really have to worry about engaging them. You can focus on ads, you can focus on other enemies, building Scorch up on them. You can set it and forget it. And Pyro technique really helps you set it and forget it. I quite like it, but I do understand that it can also ruin origination, so that's keeping it out of S tier. It's always going to make your Scorch a little bit better, unless your Scorch isn't going on very long. Flash Fry is great at clearing out basic rooms with a bunch of basic enemies, since it makes those enemies explode when they die. And exploding enemies can be really funny, especially if it's a room with like a bunch of zombies, a bunch of those tiny fish down in Fishland. Watching them chain reaction pop to pop another one, to pop another one, to pop another one is incredibly satisfying, and it helps you just clear out a room faster. Clearing rooms fast is really important on high heat, or high fear. If it was high heat, hopefully Hestia would be really good at it. She's the heat god, but it's high fear. That's what I meant to say. If you're adding additional enemies to rooms, guess what? This gets better because now there's more potential exploding dudes. Helps you go fast if you got the timer on, helps you clear out shields if you gave them shields. Yeah, I quite like Flash Fry. The only reason it's not an S tier is because it doesn't really help you out all that much against bosses. Most of the bosses don't summon a ton of ads. A lot of the bosses that do summon ads are invincible as they summon the ads. Talking about Hecate and Typhon. So you don't get a lot of value against bosses, keeps it out of S tier since it's really just for clearing the basic rooms, but it helps you clear the basic rooms a lot faster, and I think that's worthy of A tier. Now, Snuffed Candle is kind of the reverse of this. This lets you deal more damage when the enemy you're attacking is not close to any other enemy, like bosses. 20% extra damage to bosses. Yes, please. I'll take 2. Well, I can only take 1. You can only take a boon once. Did you know that in Hades 2 you can only take a boon once? Yeah, Flash Fry is the one to help you clear the basic rooms. Snuffed Candle is the one to help you clear out the bosses. And it helps you clear them out a lot faster. I quite like Snuffed Candle. If it helped out more in basic rooms, which it kind of can if you space your enemies and want to run back and forth across the map, but that doesn't sound fast. That doesn't sound fast to me. Really, it only helps you with the last basic enemy in a chamber, so I can't put it up in S tier because it's only good at one thing, which means we only have one S tier boon, and that is Cardio Gain. One of my 2 favorite mana recovery options. Probably would say it's my second favorite, but we'll obviously get to that when we talk about No, I'm kidding, it's Hera. Y'all know it's Hera. Y'all know Born Gain's busted, but Cardio Gain is also a pretty darn good mana recovery option. This makes it so that you recover magic whenever you attack or special. That's really good on torches, since torches have to attack a few times before they wind up that next Omega attack. You'll effectively have unlimited mana, or at least you should. I never run out of mana when I use Cardio Gain. Attacking and specialing are things you're just going to be doing anyway, so being able to get mana recovery from that, even if it's small amounts of mana recovery, is really good. I really love getting this when I'm using the spear, and you get the double strike thing that makes each of your attacks cost 5 mana to use, but it makes 2 attacks. This is mana positive even at common rarity, so you can just spam that forever and never run out of magic. Love pairing this up with the Hera Hestia duo boon that does damage to hitch afflicted enemies every time you recover magic, because you're recovering magic constantly. It's one of my favorite mana recovery options. I would only guess that the axe is maybe not great with this one, but even the axe, I love hitting those basic attacks. I'm a Thanatos enjoyer though, so I don't even really like using the Omegas on the axe. I hated Charon, I know. Put it in the comments. I'll call your mom and apologize to her for disliking Charon. She'll pick you up after recess and it'll be fine. Overall, looking back at Hestia, there's a lot of B tier and C tier, and maybe I ranked her a little too high in the God ranking video. I've really just kind of fallen out of love with Scorch, and perhaps I just need to get those duo boons with Demeter and Aphrodite again to remind me how sweet the Scorch is. So do you like the Scorch? Do you like Hestia's non non-Scorch related boons? Let me know. You can disagree with me. It's fine. I want this to be a playful repartee though, and not saying that I ruined your life because I don't like the same things you do in a video game. It's fine if we all have different opinions. Let's have fun with that and not be weird. Join the Patreon to support the channel. It's the best place to do it. Check out Tulok the Cardbarian if you like Magic the Gathering, and check out Tulok the Barbarian if you like D&D. Bye-bye.